Pisces, hello, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please do go ahead and check out the description box below where you'll find links to my Facebook page and my Instagram. In relation to the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer, this channel is for empaths, intuitives and sensitives, those that identify that they're on the awakening path or journey. My intentions with all of my readings are to bridge mainstream and soul and mainstream, all right, 5D with 3D. It's all well and good to be connected into higher consciousness. It's quite something altogether when we're trying to integrate that down into the very everyday lives and realities we find ourselves in. Hey Pisces. Now, if you haven't been to the channel, please go ahead and check out the links, the other videos. I've released June practically soulful readings, and obviously there are 2 fortnightly readings every month. I also do weekly readings, however, that is only on the Instagram page, so go and check that out below. But if it resonates, please do like, share, subscribe, and let other empaths know. We're going to do a cosmic recap while I'm shuffling your cards. June has been a powerhouse. Not only do we have eclipses, a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius and a solar eclipse, did I say new moon? A solar eclipse in Cancer. Can you tell I've been doing readings today? Full moon, lunar eclipse in Sagittarius and a solar eclipse in Cancer at the end of the month. We've also got Mercury going into retrograde, which brings us to a total of 6. There will be 6 planets in retrograde. However, the monthly readings, I've referred to 5 planets simply because once Neptune comes into retrograde, Venus leaves not long after, but the remnants of the energies, okay, are similar, all right? So it's the same wisdom principle is what I want to say from an energetic point of view. We've got a lot of intense energy happening in the background of these placements. We've had a lot of Mars influence, okay? But our Mars is our drive, all right? But that sextiles Jupiter later in the month and now in this final 2 weeks of June. So this is a reading for the 15th to the 30th. Now, with Mars sextiling Jupiter, we're becoming clear and also passionate and excitedly expansive about our goals or direction, what we want to manifest and bring into being within our life. I do want to say the retrogrades have been kicking off since April, okay? So with those 5 planets, I went into detail in the June readings about how we're really getting to the depths of our deeper subconscious drives and fears and the old ways in which we've always lived, loved, and given boundaries to ourselves. And how do we really tap into expansion if we're doing the same old, yeah? How do we bust into ascension and ascend old paradigms, if you like? How do we awaken to something more than here? Well, it's by taking advantage of the alchemical, transformative potential that is presented when we see a combination of certain retrogrades happening within the cosmos. You know, it really brings us through the timeline. Now, make no mistake, with Sun, Quincunx, Pluto and Jupiter, we cannot ignore it anymore. And you will notice in the first 2 weeks of June, yes, it was sort of like this rising tension. And it's almost like we need the mini crises points in our timeline, in our lives. Sometimes they're massive if we've been suppressing them for a long time because we haven't been connecting into what we intuitively know. We've all been there, yeah, empaths. With this Quincunx energy, with Pluto and Jupiter, you know, we cannot address the expansion of what lies beneath any longer. Every zodiac is going to feel that in one way or another. Now, you guys are going to particularly feel the Neptune retrograde strongly, so we cannot delude ourselves anymore when Neptune shows up. It's veils off, let's get real, masks off, and whatever the case may be, we're really where are we disillusioned in our life to the point that we are blocking our own growth, Pisces, okay? It's about authenticity, it's about accountability, which has been the ecliptical cycle for the last 2 years. We also, thanks to this month, have moved into a new ecliptical cycle, and we will be noticing that in the final 2 weeks of June. And, you know, the bridging between the first 2 and final 2 weeks of June, it was quite intense, and it settles into a beautiful harmonic period at the end of June, like I said earlier, when Mercury sextiles Uranus, you know, we're having beautiful connections with others, wanting to explore the bridging gap between differences. And that could be the differences between where I am to where I want to go. And okay, you're different to me. How did you get there? How did you do this particular path differently? What can I learn from you? We're excited about each other's differences, whereas early in the month we were quite tense and afraid. Okay, we're coming into excited energy towards the end of the month. So I will finish off with some other oracle cards. Now, let's take a look. I am using The Secret Language of Light, okay, and that's by Denise Jarvie. They are light activation cards, okay, so this is your oracle card to kick off your reading, my lovely Pisces. Let your light shine, number 45, with steady growth and the acceptance of change, which is the numerological symbolism behind 45, yeah? We're completing a cycle. Isn't that a bit symbolic in of itself? Look at you there, connecting into some higher guidance, higher wisdom, coming into alignment with higher consciousness by truly accepting the shadows, by truly accepting the gifts, by sitting still. You know, this is symbolic very much of sitting still and receiving and checking in to see how that connection feels. What can it tell me? How am I reacting to it or responding to it, tying into it? You know, when we're sitting in peace like that, we really can become potently aware of our connection to source and higher self, if you like, what's going on for us and what energy we're emitting in many ways too, Pisces, what we're drawing in and connecting into, what we're grounded into, yeah? It's all symbolic, it's all metaphoric. Okay, let your light shine. How have you not been letting your light shine, Pisces? And hopefully by the time this reading finds you in the final 2 weeks, don't mind my cat, as this reading finds you in the final 2 weeks of June, you're finding ways in which you're connecting into your light, but not only that, letting it shine. Okay, my loves? After a time of perhaps some overwhelm and confusion of the emotional body, with the Seven of Cups showing up like that, but crossed by the King of Cups. Let me finish this off. I'll put that to the side. That can go up there. Okay, wow, look at you grow and glow. I do see now, look, and I connect into the collective energy, so I'm just trying to think. I'm looking back and remembering now that a lot of Pisceans were really coming out of the old in many ways and wanting to make changes, yeah? It's this oscillation between the old and the new, wanting to make a change, wanting the new perhaps, but then being stuck in fear about ways in which to do that. You can apply that to career path, you can apply that to relationship, you can apply that to new ventures, projects, ways of being, routines, whatever the case may be. And yes, I get it, guys, many of us are stuck in influence when it comes to the collective circumstances and the energies that are going on globally for everyone being in restriction. But these energies will play out anyway. That restriction time, that lockdown time has been of purpose to really connect into the retrograde energy. And if we've kept ourselves too busy, distracted, like I said, with the Sun, Quincunx, Pluto and Jupiter, it's no ignoring it now. So there's a beautiful opportunity for many Pisces to make solid decisions that affect you on a more permanent level. Okay, like I said, it can certainly be in the realms of love and relationship. It can certainly be in the realms of whatever creative endeavors or anything that makes you feel passionately excited or frustrated. So that could be your career, because we make head and heart decisions there. We also make emotional fulfillment decisions there. I see here there's beautiful recognition as your reading closes, okay? You have definitely cut something away with the Ace of Swords underneath the deck, getting crystal clear between the 15th and the 30th at some point, or as the month closes, about the next level, recognizing that next level of your path, your journey, your relationship. Don't mind the motorbikes. Maybe you're riding off into the sunset. Is that symbolic? Was the cat symbolic earlier? Okay, Seven of Cups, we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed when it comes to our emotions is what I was feeling here, but then receiving some sort of emotional mastery, whether that's from a guide, whether that's from a counselor, whether that's from yourself, your higher self, because this is you coming into the mastery of your highest element, okay, of being in your highest element. You are the body of water. You are the water body, Pisces. Now, male or female, whether we're working in the masculine or feminine essence, there is a difference, okay? The feminine essence of the Queen of Cups is very inward. You can't read her. She's going in. She's almost hermit version of her suit, okay? But the King, as a masculine energy, is acting on what he intuitively knows based on his emotions, okay? He's empathic, he's intuitive, he's connected strongly into emotional mastery. My emotions are telling me something for a reason. Maybe you've recently come out of a time, okay, where they felt overwhelming, or there were many decisions that felt emotionally overwhelming, many choices that impacted the emotions, because I see in the recent past, I'm in my swords energy, I'm in my thought body wanting to rush something, which can also affect our emotions, okay? As you find yourself in the second week of, sorry, I keep saying second week, second fortnight, my dear. This is the 15th to the 30th. Second half of June, there's going to be some emotional clarity after a time of overwhelm. That might even be rushing towards a decision, okay? I'm rushing towards a decision, feeling overwhelmed, and then just grabbing something, and then just sitting with my emotions in something for a little while. Because I do see this, like I said earlier, this oscillation energy. I've got the Two of Coins underneath that, activating your Four of Cups. I'm not wanting to see something as an opportunity. I'm not wanting to take this gift from the divine that's been given to me. I'm still deciding on where I want to invest my emotional energy, and it's you're wanting to come from the head, but this month as you close, in order to reignite your passion for life, which is what I see you want to switch from an energy body or passions that go from conflict to something more creative. I see that's the desire here. Okay, you want to feel passionate about your path. You want to feel passionate about your plans, your goals, your routine, what you do on the day-to-day, how you connect into your lover, how you connect into your family and friends, your children. Because emotional fulfillment is everything for you this month. But I feel in many ways you've been investing in other areas and not taking the cup the divine was trying to tell you, whether that was guidance via signals and wisdoms gifted to you by your emotions were telling you something for a while, perhaps. But I do see here there were practical implications about where to invest wisely, and regardless if you weren't emotionally invested is what I want to say, but you will decide as the month closes off whether to take a cup of opportunity. You're really in assessment mode, okay? That's your Three of Cups down here. What makes me feel joyful? Where is my happiness? What makes me feel emotionally fulfilled? Who do I want to connect into that can help me connect into these energies, yeah? You're not necessarily seeing an opportunity because you're focused too much on the nots, on what I don't have. What do you have? I can't even speak English today. Excuse me a minute, Pisces. Sorry, Pisces. I do want to say like I said, there's a review here of the Three of Cups, and this Three of Cups energy is about joy and the communications of what makes me feel joyful, and I'm not feeling that my current situation is making me feel joyful. I'm not ready to take an opportunity here, but maybe that opportunity will lead you back to a Three of Cups energy, okay? There's wisdom here in the Four. We're building solid foundations in one way or another when the Four energy shows up. It's steady progress towards. But I do see here you're going to need to integrate some form of a loss, okay? Emotional loss is what I want to say, because it's almost like you know that you're going to have to emotionally, mentally, physically make this decision. Like, is what I'm feeling when I look at these two, and you know it's not just a practical decision, it's also an emotional one too. So, but there's an opportunity here, Pisces, to really, there's options, yeah, to keep responding to your challenge, your situation, your opportunities in one way. the same old way, but you're wanting to move forward. There's this forward movement energy, but this cha-cha energy I'm feeling is going to take some courage, which you sense on some level. You know it's going to take courage. And maybe that's why you're in this hesitancy about how much to invest, okay? This decision, this choice, this step forward. But you're also not emotionally satisfied by what it takes to invest in this choice. But I want to say it ends amazingly in many ways. I feel this stuckness in old energy. So there is a need to release the past in a lot of ways, okay? You might be connecting into another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. There's a lot of cups on the table. This is about your heart. You're cutting away any influences, thoughts that do not align, and dreams and goals that do not align. Old ways of thinking, doing things, okay? As you make practical considerations for next steps. It's going to take some courage. Like I said, you might be connecting into an Aries. Maybe August is relevant towards the maturation of this next step that you're about to take if it ties into bigger plans and goals. There's a decision here after feeling a time of emotional overwhelm that you're going to really need to be courageous about. But the minute you feel like you have mastered your emotions, so allow your light to shine is very much a Leonian energy in many ways. You might be connected into a Leo, okay? But how can we let our light shine, Pisces, when we really don't know what's inside and what my plans are and what I want for myself, and really getting grounded into self? So I feel like this hesitation period, when I look at these two cards, the Four of Cups, it's necessary. So take some time out. You probably do. Like, as much as we can traditionally look at tarot and say it's a stagnant energy in some form, I feel you need it. You need it to decide with a full heart, with a happy heart, what my next step is. Because I want to say, do not invest in the old ways of thinking, old anything is what I want to say. Because there's an emotional mastery here. There's a spiritual principle to the Seven. You're upgrading your emotional body in many ways. And it is when we do that, that cry, that release, after a time of stillness, after a time of meditation, and refusing something. I'm refusing it for a reason. Refusing to engage my emotions, yeah, whatever the case may be. It is through this journey of deeper diving that you're going to be able to authentically let your light shine, okay? I feel this plug, that unplugging that happens for you, Pisces, all right? And as we may know, when it comes to, you know, the Strength card in traditional tarot, like she is there, she's prying open the jaws of a lion. It seems like a mammoth feat, an impossible feat, if you like. But I want to say, crunch your numbers, work out what you want to invest in, because I can definitely see here what is at play is a relationship. What is at play is a head and heart decision. This next step, this next thing, this next journey you're going to take is going to require a balance of head and heart. Gemini season, okay, which is the month we're in, and also Venus retrograde, which kicked off in May, has taught you a lot about how there's no taming the lion now. Like, there is no... I feel like I'm talking to a lot of Pisces that have addressed things, yes, but there's almost like you need to sit in peace to get to the core of something, and that is what's going to take courage, okay? And at any point, Pisces, we all get to that juncture point, and I almost feel like this is a judgment card, where we must choose to seek higher guidance, okay? We can't rely on the practical levels, the practical realms. The old ways of doing things is no longer resonating, is what I'm feeling here. If that comes to a relationship, if that comes to your soul path, your career path, your connection with others, you know, there's courage that's now required of you. There's something here you think you can't do, but you can, and you will do so amazingly, all right? I feel I'm connecting to a lot of Pisces that aren't dealing with their emotions. Maybe you're connecting into the dream world and anywhere but here, yeah? It's almost like a meditative space or a dream space. And if you've been busy and flat out and not connecting into self, I would look at that card and say definitely connect into some self-nurture time, yeah? But we can also use this as a disconnection tool, guys. You know that. okay? So perhaps if something needs to be ground down, action is what counts in the eyes of the universe. You might know all of this on here, on this level. But it is about how we choose to allow that action to ground down without feeling emotionally overwhelmed, without refusing, okay, without connecting into the energy that we perhaps are refusing opportunity to grow, to address a challenge, to make a choice, make a decision. We're refusing opportunity for growth, okay? But ultimately it is growth that lets our light shine. And we've busted out of old paradigms. If I even look at her, it looks like the light is really trying to come out of her or him. We can't really make these clear and cut calls anymore. I do see here, you know, with some courage, you really are going to be connecting into this divine love energy. You might be connecting into a Gemini, okay? You might have Gemini in your charts. Gemini season is significant for the identification of emotional fulfillment for you, your happy family. This certainly might tie into family and what you and your family need for you right now. There is a strong head and heart decision that's going to take a lot of courage. You're going to be crunching numbers and most certainly crunching priorities, writing a to-do list of what, being practical in, I don't know how you feel like you need to personally action this, but I'm a list person, I'm a graph person, I'm a project planning person, and I like to say, okay, that's my end goal. How am I going to get there? How much time is it going to take? It's like this, I feel that practical planning energy here. What am I willing to invest? What am I willing to sacrifice? Yeah, it's like that's what I'm feeling here. Are we sacrificing our pride? Are we sacrificing our fear on some level? Are we sacrificing our desire for maintaining conflict? There's a conflict here. You're hoping and fearing that this decision, this thing you're trying to do will abate conflict, okay? But trust and know that the conflict that we all experience always lies within, and hence that's why this alone time is necessary, is what I was mentioning earlier. It's about really getting to the core. Like I said, with this Sun, Quincunx, Pluto and Jupiter, it will come out regardless. So we're going to be noticing us getting frustrated. We're going to be noticing this little mini craft that is simply our higher self saying enough. Enough with the ways in which we've done things, because our higher self has been calling to us for a long time. And I see here, Pisces, this is about divine love. This is about connecting into the divine love that you are, whether you are in a relationship or not. Okay, and when we love ourselves in such a way, it takes a lot of courage to do so, because we're making sacrificial choices that will go against the norm, that will feel risky, because we're risking certain lifestyle factors. We're risking our ego to take a risk. We're putting ourselves out there at the risk of what, you know? But what's most important to you now is emotional fulfillment. Your happiness impacts the family. Your emotional fulfillment is your rainbow, is the guiding light, is what you want to bask under despite the focus. I do see here there's a need to recognize that in some level, but you are conflicted. There's competition here, okay? Whether we feel like we need to be in competition with other people, whether we feel like we're in competition with the elements of ourselves. You know, the part of ourselves that tells us we should do things, and the other part of ourselves that tells us we want to do something perhaps. It's completely unique for us all, but make no mistake, the conflict that exists within will always start to be mirrored in our external environment, whether that's in our relationships, our workplaces, our challenges, okay? I'm at conflict for a reason, and it's perhaps because I need to make a head and heart decision, or a head or heart decision in relation to what truly fulfills my emotional cup. What is my 10 of Cups, okay? Because there's a need for recognition here. You finish your reading with the 6 of Wands, and it's certainly, you know, there's a graduation, okay? The 5 sits underneath the 6 in your reading, and with that, it adds up to 11. There's mastery here when it comes to listening to your intuition and what you've actually learned this month in June. June's been significant. It kicked off in May. May has been pivotal for the retrogrades. June, There's a recognition of those deeper things that have been going on. You know, May might have felt completely conflict-ridden, whether you're fighting other people, fighting yourself, fighting the clock and feeling like life looked like this. Whatever the case is, there's a desire here for recognition, okay? But I'm feeling more strongly you recognize what it is that needs to shift and change, what it is that you need to make a head and heart decision on to reach your 10 of Cups. This is significant. Because as a Pisces, you're a water sign, you know, you're needing to activate the remembrance of your connection to your emotional body by connecting into your fire, by connecting into your passions. So I do need to ask you, when's the last time you felt passionate about your path, about your connection? How have you allowed your fire body to be experienced, your energy body, your sensuality, your creativity, okay? The excitement in your life that gets the blood pumping. There's a deep need here to reconnect to something, that essence of life and risk and adrenaline in some way, to feel that divine solar plexus energy that infuses us with confidence and clarity and purpose and life force is what I'm feeling here, because I need to activate my sacral chakra. I need to activate that creative energy is really trying to roar in you, but it's actually so deeply embedded, because your overall card is let your light shine, Pisces. But there's a deep embedding that's been happening because of, and there's conflict as it's trying to come up, because you're refusing to acknowledge an emotional fulfillment need. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to keep going with the tarot here, but take that however it resonates. I see it as I'm really experiencing and can experience how I can see how this would work on a healing table, to be honest. I would focus solely on your solar plexus to activate your sacral chakra, encourage you to pursue creative pursuits or anything that gets the creative energy going, okay? Creation, okay? Creation energy is the divine essence of what we are. We all, whether we've been pregnant or not, we've all been sparked by an energy explosion that started life. This is the divine essence of all of life, Pisces. I use this in my manifestation techniques, and I refer to it in my manifestation meditation classes and in my healing work when I'm talking to a client about transformation and how do we get from A to B when it's all been in their head, okay? When we're too afraid to address our emotional body, when we're too afraid to even connect into how our energy body, our creative body works well with the emotional body actually, and how that ultimately fuels the thought body, which is the higher consciousness that fuels us, which is the power of the mind and shifts perceptions, which ultimately create change. It's all an alchemical process. It's all a tick and flick of everything that we are. Like I refer to the 5 levels and bodies of being that we are at all times in my healing work. We're more than just a physical. We're an emotional body, we're a thought body, we're an energy body and a soul. Society has only ever taught us to focus on the lower chakras, the lower realms, if you like. I don't just call them lower chakras, the lower realms, okay? The human 3D. And even still, our emotional body, we're not really well versed on how best to really handle emotions as a creative tool. You know, we're taught as a society, I could say as a generalized statement, to repress our emotions, yeah? And as they bubble up, but you are the emotional body. You are the master of the emotional body, and that is your gift and mastery in this lifetime. Going to the depths of them to truly understand them without disconnecting into dream space, disconnecting into a time not here as a safety mechanism can really help us embody the wisdom of the emotional body into our physical self, into our thought body, and allow that harmony to take place. There's a recognition of a key growth tool when it comes to emotional fulfillment for you. You're cutting away someone gets clear this month, okay? You get clear what you can achieve a year from now, or also what you have achieved a year ago, okay? The last year has been significant on this uprising, this awareness, the High Priestess. You intuitively know this. This is you. This is Cancer and Scorpio as well. This is you, the intuit. And how much do you keep yourself solitary from others is what I do want to say, my lovely Pisces, as a safety mechanism. Okay, but you are the wisdom of your shadow and your light. Alrighty? There's an offer here. There's an emotional offer, a creative offer. This is the cup that perhaps we didn't take. Here it is. We're taking it now. We're starting, we're beginning. This is youthful energy as a page. There's a journey that begins on some level as June closes off for you. You do choose to take some form of a cup. You do choose to offer your cup. And you know what? When we're offering our cup, that can be symbolic of us actually putting our heartfelt intention in our next decision, our life decision, our relationship. It's also an apology, whether we have to apologize to self or others, okay? And the Queen of Cups. This is you. Like, that's what I felt, this merging, like Kundalini rising. And you know how that energy feels before? It can feel, for want of a better word, chaotic. It can feel uncertain. We're not sure why these deeper subconscious fears or these old memories and trauma triggers are coming up for us. But that is the gift of the 5 planets in retrograde, okay, in June. But you will be feeling the 6, 5 and 6, because the 6th is Neptune and you are ruled by it. We can no longer deceive ourselves by the things that have been demanding our attention, wanting us. Our higher self has been pushing us in many ways for a beautiful union and merge. Take that however it resonates. But this, make no mistake, is a union, a marriage, okay, of your divine masculine and feminine essence. This is an upgrade to your emotional body. We think we know our emotions. We think we know how best to use them to suit self. But when we're expanding, when we're working with manifestation energy, when we're really trying to expand out of old ways, when we're ascending out of old paradigms thanks to the retrogrades, we are eclipsing Pisces this month. We are eclipsing, okay? You know, there's 2 eclipses, solstice. It's a powerhouse of a month. And you can sit in the comfort of your thoughts as much as you want, because you're wanting to run back to them. You're wanting to run back to an old way of doing things in one way or another. Your thoughts are bringing you back to the past in something. But this is the time for your emotional body. So allow yourself to feel. Stop juggling the things that you're using to distract yourself, to really connect into this beautiful eruption and union connection that is trying to take place. Like I said, when the divine masculine and feminine meet, when these energies merge, whether we've been pregnant or not, there's an explosion, a life force that happens, yeah? That is the energetic creative spark that starts all of life, Pisces. It starts the birth of the star. It started you. This is the energy of transformation, and we can connect into that whenever we choose. Oh, that's great, Ali. How do you do that? Well, with a lot of authentic work on the emotional body, the mental body, the energy body, and the soul, and see how they all ground down and tie into the physical body, so that we may let our light truly shine. Because you can feel someone that has done a lot of deep healing. You can feel their energy, Pisces, okay? You can sense it on all of those levels. And as empaths, as intuitives, as sensitive, we can feel the light of the sun when it is emitted by an individual. That genuine warmth was also a burning of old ways at one point. There's I don't know if I said it, that's a divine union, okay? So whether you are connecting into another water sign is relevant. Boundaries are needed, okay? And a time of solitude to really go in. Like I said, I was picking up on that before. This is the energy, the 4 of Swords energy I was picking up when I saw the 4 of Cups. Another mastery number. You've got 2 4s. You've now got 5, 6, and 7 progressive energy, my dear. You are ascending, whether you believe in ascension or not. 44 is the master builder. What are you building? Okay, because a time of change is here for you, for better or worse, and it is a time of karmic justice and balancing. Okay, letting go of old ways of being. It could certainly tie into things like separation, okay, courts and stuff like that, but there's a balancing here that happens. Okay, you might be connecting into a Libra. Okie dokie, and then you get your 3 of Cups, which is what you were looking for in the 4 of Cups earlier. Where's my happiness? Where's my joy? So, do we remember that step? Oh, guys, look, get out of town. Ace of Cups. This, I'm a bit funny how I just, my cards are like the planets. They're all like people to me. When the divine feminine and masculine merge, what is born? What spark of life? That's the baby. This is the ace. This is the spark. This is the most potent out of all the minor arcana cards. The aces are the most potent of life force, God force, universal force, whatever you want to call it. They are the potent sparks of exactly what I just talked about when it comes to that manifestation energy, that transformation energy. It is through the Phoenix line we meet the fire. The fire is the spark of light. And I know this is not fire, it's water. It's the Ace of Cups, but it's of this suit. It's of the emotions. You are getting an emotional upgrade and a reset. This is definitely the beginning of beautiful love, or your experience of love and connection. Emotional authenticity and mastery, Pisces. Because it's from there we are truly connected to creativity, because we can understand our energy body. We connect in how that connects into our thought body, yeah? Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, I do want to pull one of the Oracle of the Unicorns. This is my daughter's beautiful Unicorn Oracle deck. Now, it is Cordelia Francesca Brabs. Alright, so I really need to update my description box where I've got all my cards listed. So Oracle of the Unicorns. Now let's see, because we have got that beautiful Mercury influence at the end of the month where we're starting to connect in with others, communicate about these differences rather than be in conflict, and really get excited about steps moving forward as we have expanded. This is the month to expand if we so choose, Pisces. That one wanted to fall off. Possibility. Because anything is possible. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential, my love. Look at this. What a beauty. Anything and everything is possible. All things, Pisces, started something from a thought which activated emotions. All things, all goals, all major dreams, all relationships, all of life. And so too did you. What are you going to make possible for you as you close off the final 2 weeks of June? Pisces, I hope that resonated. If so, please do like, share, and subscribe. And by all means, let other empaths know about the channel that is dedicated to you guys, integrating all this high wisdom into this fun house of a place we find ourselves in, yeah. But it's beautiful. And our experiences can be beautiful and really wisdom enriching too. All right, my lovely Pisces. See you for your July reading. And don't forget, new to Instagram and only on the Instagram page, you will see your weekly quick reads, okay? So they're quick 3 and 5 minute video, or maximum 5 minute videos, but you'll get a bit of an idea of, or a check-in if you like, to see where you might be at each week, okay? All right, my love, enjoy. Thank you for watching. See you next time.